Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Hanson Select Board meeting of August 27th, 2024. This meeting is being recorded by Whitman Hanson Community Access Television. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have a jam-packed agenda, but as per usual.
Sure.
If you don't mind reading the announcements, but before you read the announcements, Mr. Hill, we have a secret announcement that's not in there. It's not really a secret announcement, but it's not in your package.
Super secret?
No, the transfer station, it will be, no longer open on Sundays, effective
September 8th.
September 8th. So, this coming Sunday will be the last official Sunday that the transfer station is open until such time as town meeting might decide to fund the transfer station again. And this is a result of the June 17th town meeting vote, where we were looking at balancing the budget, and we were asked to fully fund the Whitman Hanson Regional School District assessment, and the choice was to either say no to that and send it back to the school committee, or to cut positions and budget from the town. And the voters at town meeting voted to cut positions and hours from the town. And so one of the things that was on the floor and was discussed at the time was the transfer station. So I'm sorry to open with such abysmal news, but just wanted to make sure for those of you that use the transfer station, such as myself, I use and love it, then I just wanted to let you know, this is it. This Sunday is the swan song until such time as we get funding, if we ever get funding.
I frequented on Sundays up until last Sunday.
Well, you're going to have to change your schedule.
I'm going to have to change my schedule.
Yep.
There might be confused, other people might be confused because I'm confused because I thought it was effective this Sunday.
That's because there was a little, we'll just say, technical difficulty, little nuance, little communication snafu, but it's all been worked out, and we have a reprieve of one more week.
Okay.
So earlier today, if you had asked me, I would have said the official word from the Board of Health was the 1st,
Yep.
But it is the 8th.
Okay, just so that everybody is aware. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for the clarification.
So try to segue from that into your public announcements.
Thank you.
Great.
We're looking for citizens at large to become members of the following committees: Bylaw Committee, Cable and Internet Committee, Cultural Council, Economic Development Committee, Energy Committee, Historical Commission, Recreational Commission, Memorial Day and Patriotic Observance Committee, and the Zoning Board of Appeals. Volunteer applications may be found on the town website, www.hanson-mass.gov, or by calling the Select Board office at 781-293-2131. The state primary will be held on September 3rd, 2024, at the Hanson Middle School from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. Remaining early voting hours for September 31st, 2024 state primary will be held at the Hanson Town Hall as follows: Tuesday, August 27th, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 28th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, August 29th, also from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Friday, August 30th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the next two upcoming select board meetings are September 17th, 2024, and September 24th, 2024. And everybody should be reminded there's a special town meeting October 7th, 2024.
Very good. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Hill. First up on our agenda is recognizing Michael Means for 20 years of his service to the town. And people may not know, you may know Michael Means from the highway, but Michael is so much more, and not that highway wouldn't have been sufficient, but so much more, all kinds of emergency, historical commission, Thomas Mill, Boy Scouts. I mean, I'm sure I'm not even scratching the surface of the things that you have done, Mr. Means. But in official recognition of your over 25 years of service to the residents of Hanson in the Highway Department and Fire Department, the board hereby awards this citation. During your career of distinguished service, you worked with a team who went beyond essential highway operation duties to keep the citizens of Hanson safe in some unexpected but critical ways. You also participated on several town committees, notably the Hanson Historical Commission and Thomas Mill Committee. The town of Hanson wishes to recognize you and express the community's sincerest appreciation for your commitment of service to the citizens of Hanson. The certificate of appreciation for your remarkable 25 years of service is issued by the Town of Hanson Select Board in acknowledgement of this distinguished milestone and recognition of your years of public service. And on behalf of the citizens of Hanson, the Select Board extends its sincerest thank you and expresses its deepest gratitude and appreciation for your dedication to the town. And we hope that your future will be filled with happiness and well-being. So, thank you very much. We're missing a couple of signatures, so we'll get you the official, fully executed form, and sorry to torture you that way, but it was unavoidable. Anybody want to say anything further?
I always have something to say. You've been fantastic. Really appreciate it. I mean, there's so many things that you've done. Just a selfless person giving back to the town in just so many different ways. You've taught so many people, and it's really great to see that we get an opportunity. It's very rare when we get an opportunity to really kind of thank somebody for years and years of dedication. So just thank you for everything you've done. You know, you're a great role model for your family, and you've raised a great one. So, you know, I really appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Green?
Thank you, Michael, for everything. And as soon as we have the other two signatures, we will send that out to you in a very large envelope, so we're not folding it up or anything, so. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, guys. All right.
Want to give him a photocopy, or does he have a copy already?
No, sure, yeah. Do you want a photocopy of the unexecuted? Okay.
The unofficial one before we get the official one.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate everything. Thank you very much for everything. Very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Very much.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Next up, we have present highway director finalist for consideration and possible appointment. Ms. Green?
Yeah, so,
Yes.
after a very long, search period, we are finally bringing forth an applicant for the board to consider. He has excellent experience and background. Part of his background includes military service.
He's already sitting in the interrogation seat. Oh, please sit in our interrogation seat. Thank you.
References provide nothing but good things to say, that he's a great worker. You know, somebody actually quoted, they were together in the military service. They were deployed together in 2015, I gather. And he said he's one of the best operators, that he's ever seen. He could do the job backwards. And I said, that's good to know, because a lot of things we do in municipal government are backwards.
Ouch.
You'll fit right in.
Oh, boy.
And he said that, he, you know, a great family gentleman, great friend, and he thinks that, Hanson could really, bringing him on to Hanson, this would be the best decision, one of the best decisions that we made.
And Mr. McLean, who's hoping sincerely to finish his perpetual interim gig with us. Well, it's been sometimes even pleasures have their limits. So, did you want to say anything, or?
Honestly, I spoke to a lot of people, and people that weren't on references that do Rich, and highly recommend it. You know, young guys, what we need, bring this department ahead for the next 30 years.
Okay, great. Great, well, welcome, and would love to hear from you.
Perfect. My name's Richard Jasmine. I found your posting on the Mass Municipal website. I was inclined to apply because I feel like Hanson would really fit a lifestyle that I'm looking for. I was in a DPW for 7 years, up to operator, acting foreman for a stint of time. I left. I don't know if Lisa told you. I've left since then. I've been a superintendent, on-site superintendent for Costello Dismantling for about a year and 10 months now. Learned a wealth of management skills from them as well. I always knew I was going to try to get back to a town, and I feel like Hanson's would be a good fit. I feel like, personally.
Hanson's an amazing town. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have our little infighting, we don't have our little stuff going on, little political infighting here and there, but honestly, you know, we're fortunate. We do have a good little town here, and we know it. How do you feel about being in a management position with a union and all that? Do you feel comfortable about that?
Yeah, 100%. So going back to the Stoughton DPW, I was the president of our labor union association.
Yep.
For 4 out of 7 years I was there. Now I'm with Costello. I deal with local 1421 and local 4 operators and laborers unions. I know there are rules. Can't step over those rules.
Yep.
You got to follow them. Worker safety. I know all about it. I know being in a union and managing unions.
Okay, cool. And do you feel like you've got a good network of like mentors, people you can reach out to, you know, because parts of this might be new, or, you know, like
Yeah.
there's going to be a learning curve, and
I can't lie to you. I know about a few of your, you know, associations that you're in. I know of Purge. I've never filled out the paperwork. I know I can find it. I've already looked into a bunch of it. I know Chapter 90 is a big one for road work.
yep,
I think that's number 1, or number 2. So snow and ice operations is number 1. Number 2 is roadway safety. So it is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Just getting a feel for filling that paperwork out. I'm knowledgeable in the actual work. It's just more of the
the administrative
paperwork.
piece of
Yeah,
it.
I'd be lying
Yeah.
to you if I said, oh no.
Fortunately, you've got quite a gem in Carol Jensen, who works there.
Yeah.
I think Kurt would agree. She's the glue that holds everything together. And people don't really realize everything that she does. But you know, she's amazing, and we're lucky to have her. So, you know, don't hesitate to lean on her, and you know, and I'm sure she'll be grateful to have somebody, you know, that she can work with and kind of pass some of that stuff back to, you know. Yeah, that, you know, I mean, it would be boring if it was a job you knew everything, and it's like, oh, I've got that all down pat, I've got nothing to learn, what's the point, you know?
Right.
So just, you know, make sure that you're letting Lisa know if you need support, and, you know, and I know Kurt has alluded to a pretty supportive group of highway folks, the directors that, you know, I know you guys meet on a somewhat frequent basis, and, you know, trade shop talk and secrets, and, you know, and what's going on. So I think that would be important to get in on that too, but I'm sure Kurt will, you know,
Right, I'll give my cell phone number, and I said I'm 3 miles down the street.
yep.
If I don't have the answer, we'll find it within a
Yes.
few minutes.
Yeah, Kurt's been a godsend literally to us, so we really appreciate that. Do you have any conflicts that we need to know about specifically, like family members that live or work in town, or family members who might be subcontractors, or any contractors that are in your family that we might work with, anything of that sort?
So, yeah, there's only one that may be a conflict, and my wife's cousin owns a construction company. It's out of East Bridgewater, so he's not in Hanson. Other than that, I don't know anybody.
Okay,
Anything.
great. We love that.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but I want, now, do you have any, I was going to say side hustles, but that would be inappropriate. Do you have any, other, employment?
No.
Okay, all right. And do you feel comfortable with the fact that you're pretty much not going to have a life during snow and ice and emergencies?
Yeah.
Okay,
So for the 7 years that I was the loader operator, so I was first in, last out. So I'm very aware that it comes with a ringing phone 24/7.
well, our highway department, I mean, I guess it's this case in a lot of towns, but in particular in ours, they work really close with fire and police, and we have amazing chiefs in our police and fire, like, and to the person, everybody in both of those departments is amazing, like, we're just so lucky. You know, I would hope that if you, you know, take this job, that you would keep that going and really work on those relationships and developing that communication, so that it's just as seamless as it's always been. And are you aware that we're down a guy or two?
I was made aware of a mechanics
Yes,
position that
yeah,
may be
yeah.
moving to field.
Yeah, okay. All right, and we'd want to talk about that, but you don't need to figure that out now, but we'd want to talk about that. I know Chief O'Brien had some ideas, because a lot of our work for all of the departments is getting subbed out, and that's expensive. So he had some ideas about scales of economy and maybe what could be done with that, but that's up the road. Did you guys have any questions?
No question. I just reading your resume, and
pretty-
I'm
yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
impressed by
Yeah.
what you've done. The Army, you know, U.S. Army Reserve, and you know, Department of Public Works, and I really, looking at the black and white, it looks very, very impressive. But I, like, as with Laura, you know, the concern is more the management, you know, of the unions and the paperwork and the rules and regulations. And I think I have a, you know, strong feeling that you'll be able to pick that up without any issues.
Yep.
Yeah, based on what I'm seeing in here. It's very good.
Mr. Weeks?
Yeah, so, you know, thank you for doing this. This is great. No questions, really. I think Laura asked them all. I think for me, it just goes back to, you know, we're looking for quality. We're looking for quality people that, you know, are like-minded, to go back to what Laura was saying. We have some great department heads. We have some great folks. And I just want to put it out there, you know, budgets are going to be kind of tough, especially going forward. You're going to have some obstacles, not only do you get to learn on the job, but you also have to learn how to be creative in certain ways to try to make things happen. My only ask is that if you find yourself struggling, just ask for help. Yeah, just don't. I don't like the idea of people faking it till they make it. Yeah, we're in this together. It's a community, and I just don't want to get in a situation. And I'm just saying it out loud for the sake of it. You know, we're dealing with people's lives. We're dealing with people's, you know, hard-earned tax dollars that we're responsible for spending wisely. I just want to make sure that you get the resources that you need to be successful, and that you don't feel like if you don't know something that somehow it's a reflection of you. That it's impossible to know everything. So I'm really hopeful that we have folks that can still step up and help us out. But it's really, I just want to set that tone early, that if all this stuff works out, that, you know, you're not feeling like you're on an island. We're here to support you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, you know, your employees and the citizens are both really important to us. So if you find that you're not being given the resources to take care of either one of those groups, then just let Ms. Green know. And if for some reason that doesn't work, then you can reach out to one of us. And I mean, we're all pretty open and accessible, but the first line of command should always be through Lisa. And then, you know, she'll make sure that we get together and figure out how we can get you what you need. And it is going to, you know, I don't want to like say anything that's going to be unappealing to you, but I will say we do pride ourselves on knowing that the minute you step over the Rockland line, our roads are the bomb. And it's true, and you guys know it. And we know where the Hanover line is, and we know, no disrespect, Kurt, to your past town, and we know where the Halifax line is, and we don't even have to be looking at the town line because our roads are clear, like clear. So we always have the best roads, so we're hoping to keep that up. So we know it's a high bar, but we feel confident you can do it. Ms. Green, did you have anything else you wanted to mention to us?
Well, I mean, I know you've looked at his resume, but, you know, really just want to bring to the surface, the skills and the education that he has really acquired, OSHA 30 certified, has Whopper certification, Class A CDL, 2A-4E-4G hoisting licenses. Certifications include snow and ice management certified, Bay State Road Scholar, contract administration, how to read construction drawings, trenching and excavation safety, asphalt, all liquid de-icers from brine to beet juice, basic rigging for maintenance employees. So the list goes on and on, of everything that he has done really to prepare himself for this position. So, to me, I think we've got the best candidate seated before us right now for this position.
I've got so many questions about all about liquid de-icers from brine to beetroot juice, but we don't have enough time tonight. I mean, beet juice, that's some crazy stuff, so.
I bet, I think.
To the road.
Yeah, wow,
Anybody can manage snow and ice. We want the snow and ice to be afraid to land on the ground.
exactly.
So keep that going.
Yeah, we want it to fly in a different direction. Okay, and, so like, what, if you envision like, say, day one, 1 month in, 2 month in, like, what's your approach to kind of get to know the staff and like kind of, build that camaraderie and?
So obviously, day one, I have to meet the highway department staff. I need to interact with them. If I don't, then I'm always going to be that guy in the office that they're not going to want to talk to. So that's number one, along with picking Kurt's brain
Yep.
for everything that goes on in this town. I as far as scheduling, when we do certain things, when you guys are comfortable with sweeping, in the fall and the spring, I need to learn all that scheduling. And then after that, it's kind of what like a mission statement for Hanson is. What I saw on your website that you have like a 10-year goal. I forget what it was called. I'm sorry, but it was on the bottom. And so I'd like to learn what we're looking to do in the next 10 years. I don't want to leave. I'm looking to be somewhere where I can stay. So I don't want to, for lack of better words, screw anything up. I'm
Yep.
looking to start, really build something, and then 5-10 years down the road, we're all happy. There's things getting done around the town. So
We want you to stay too. That's very important to us, that we hire the right person and that we keep the right person. Again, that comes into like investment in time, money. Obviously, we're not a hang 'em, but if the case is made and people aren't being paid what they need to be paid, then we want to step up and do the right thing and pay them. So again, it's just that keeping that line of communication open with us about it. It's our intention to have people, if they're able to, stay for the duration of their career here and feel like they're growing and learning and contributing. That's what we're looking for. And we've stumbled a bit in highway for a variety of reasons, none of which I'll bore you, and your staff will tell you anyway once you start. So, no sense in getting into it. I think we really would like a fresh perspective, somebody bringing themselves to, the job, who's got some other experience outside of the town and who's not willing to ask questions like, hey, have you guys ever thought about doing it this way? I've seen it done this way in Stoughton or da-da-da at my other job or whatever. We're totally open to that. So yes, Kurt will tell you the dates and prescribe like sort of like the calendar of things, but very much make it your own and bring, whatever ideas you've got and, talk about them. Just because we haven't done it that way doesn't mean we're not willing to take a look at doing it differently. So, all right, well, Ms. Green, what is the date and do we have a motion that we're supposed to be reading?
So we just need to ask for a motion to conditionally offer the position to Mr. Jasmine, subject to full background check, medical, physical, and drug screening, and successful contract negotiations.
So moved.
Second,
Effective,
to have her read it.
Effective, the date that we finish the background check.
can you give me an over under? What are we looking at?
I would say.
What are we hoping for?
Let's see, I would say November.
What's Kurt hoping for?
What do you?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah,
I mean,
September
let's
1st.
see, given, let's see, 2 weeks, let's see, Monday, September 9th?
Okay, so we're hoping if everything comes back, favorably,
We're hoping,
yeah.
Yeah, and again, I want to
Would it have
start,
the next
you know,
week?
if you offer me the job, I want to start tomorrow. Costello has done me no wrong, so I'd like to afford them at least a 2-week notice.
And that is the decent thing to do.
Yeah.
So, do you wanna put, Wednesday, September 11th?
As a tentative pending,
Tentative, yes.
pending the
tentative.
Corey background check.
Yes.
Medical,
and pending the 2 weeks.
yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, it's really up to you how you do this. You may want to wait until that all comes back, and then we will negotiate a start date. That probably is the best way to do that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what, assuming everything goes well, what would you want your start date to be? I mean, we can go from that angle too.
So if you don't mind, I'll pull my phone. I'll just-
Oh, no, feel free.
Whatever's
So
easy.
Lisa,
Yeah,
you're
no,
saying
whatever's
you
easy.
think we'll know within 2 weeks?
Oh, well, with that,
Yeah.
and the only reason that I'm suggesting those particular dates is because, there is a business meeting and a network, speaker type of, meeting coming up with the Plymouth County Highway Association, and it's on September 12th. And it's going to include Mass DOT, Chapter 90, and Grant Central. I thought it would really be good for Richard to, attend that meeting.
I mean, he may be able to attend it even though he hasn't officially, but.
We have to
but-
actually vote on a start
Yes,
date
we,
though?
we need to have some tentative,
Yeah,
like,
so I'll just
timeframe.
go off of you.
Yeah.
What do
It
you,
seems like it would
Yeah.
have to be
I
2
think-
weeks after we say
I think,
he's
Yeah.
cleared.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah. I just don't want to overcomplicate it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it's a little further than 2 weeks, but September 16th is a Monday. I don't know how that works.
That probably is about the
Or-
timeframe, given the turnaround and you need to give 2 weeks.
Right, that gives me 2 weeks, 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're almost 3 weeks out, but I think,
So let's put some pressure on getting some,
Yeah,
that stuff
absolutely,
turned
we'll get that
around.
all done, and, like I said, if you're interested in this meeting, we could have Carol sign you up.
absolutely.
And then
Well,
we'll have our people call your people once all of that is
Yeah,
straight.
yeah, if everything looks great, I'd love to get in that meeting, even if I'm not starting
Yeah.
4 days after.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
We'll just throw them in there as an option.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so there was a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Right.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, we're looking forward to it.
Simple as that.
That was the end of the Inquisition.
Where were you on the day?
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Kurt. We appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Be nice
Nice to
working
meet
with
you.
you.
Congratulations. Okay. Paul, could we take a brief intermission? We've lost our town administrator. Paul, did you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
We could do like the liquor licenses and stuff in the interim.
Okay, yeah, you know what, Paul, we're gonna just carry on.
Okay.
So, are we good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna just talk about, let's approve the meeting minutes from August 20th, shall we? I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Let's talk about the one-day liquor licenses for, the 8th of September for Ann Conroy, the 29th of September for John Hunter, for the 13th of, October for Anita Canoe, and I'm sorry if I killed that, and for the 25th of October for Alice White. I will entertain a motion to approve those one-day liquor licenses.
So moved.
Second.
But the 10/25, it says 25, I'm assuming it's not next year's October, it's this year's October?
Interesting. It is next year?
Okay,
Okay.
just want to make sure.
It's
No,
a
that's a
year
good
out.
point. Yeah, people do plan, it's a wedding.
Yeah, no, makes sense, just want to make sure.
People do plan, Ed. Sometimes people plan
Some-
3
it's gonna be
years.
a much-
So I had a
much
motion
better
and a
than I.
second, all in favor?
Right?
Okay, fantastic. Any committee updates?
We took August off, so I have nothing.
Okay. And then let's get to the, signed town proclamation for Suicide Prevention Month. I think you all received an email from, oh, thank you very much. Oh, well, you're the clerk, so I'm gonna prevail.
Before I read it,
Yeah,
it says September 10th, Sunday, September 10th. September 10th isn't a Sunday. So do we know when that is?
what does her email say?
September 10th is, a Tuesday. It's supposed to be our next meeting.
Honestly, I think, we were just doing the prevention month. So
Okay,
you can, I think, does this actually say the date? No, we're just doing the month.
so is this what we're doing?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, that's the proclamation.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
This proclamation is from the new National Suicide Prevention Month. September 24th proclamation for the town of Hanson, Massachusetts. Whereas suicide is the 11th leading cause of all deaths in the U.S. and the third leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 15 and 24. Whereas in the U.S., one person dies by suicide every 14 minutes. Whereas it is estimated that 5 million people in the U.S. are survivors of suicide loss. Whereas the overall suicide rate in the country in 2022 estimates that 50,000 people dying by suicide. Whereas suicide is a public health concern and affects many in our community. And whereas the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Plymouth County Suicide Prevention Coalition promotes suicide prevention and awareness in our communities. Both urge that we as a community align with a national strategy for suicide prevention at a local level, including community-based efforts that support: 1, effective, broad-based, collaborative, and sustainable suicide prevention partnerships. 2, invest in upstream, comprehensive, community-based suicide prevention. 3, reducing access to lethal means among people at risk of suicide. 4, integrating suicide prevention into the culture of the workplace and into our community settings. And 5, build and sustain suicide prevention infrastructure at the local, town, and state level. Whereas a great many suicides are preventable, therefore, it be resolved that we, the town of Hanson, Select Board, do recognize September as Suicide Prevention Month and designate September 10th as the Suicide Prevention Day in the town of Hanson, Massachusetts.
I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, great. That brings us to ratify the FY25 Memorandum of Agreement between the Town of Hanson and the AFSCME Council 93 Local 1700 Administrative Professionals Union and AFSCME Council 93 Local 1700 Highway Union. Ms. Green.
Okay, yes, so the town has come to agreements with both the Administrative Professionals Union and the Highway Union, with a contract for 1 year. The contract includes a 2% COLA increase for all the union members, and also includes some some minor language changes and, additional floating holiday for the Administrative Professionals Union, and then an additional holiday for the highway.
Okay, and this was approved in executive session, and we're discussing it and approving it in open session. I will entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement, ratify the memorandum of agreement between the town of Hanson and the AFSCME Local 93, Local 1700 Administrative Professionals Union.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I will entertain a motion to ratify the FY25 Memorandum of Agreement between the Town of Hanson and the AFSCME Council 93 Local 1700 Highway Union.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, fantastic. That brings us to appoint Madison, is that right? Madison?
Madison. Silva.
Okay.
Yes.
Silva as caretaker coordinator for Camp Kewanee. Ms. Green.
So this is a position for, a caretaker, basically for, events. It's, it's not the event coordinator, but it's a caretaker where they help set up for the event, break down after the event, clean up after the event. They do need the staff over there, so, Madison is actually a very good, addition to Camp Kewaunee.
Okay. And what's our effective date?
It would be tomorrow.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to appoint Madison Silva as caretaker work coordinator for Camp Kewaunee effective 8/28.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Ms. Green, discuss October special town meeting.
Okay. So you do have the latest version of the draft. Lynn has been working diligently on making sure all the revisions and updates are included in this. There's still always little areas that we could tweak on, but this warrant gets more and more solid every meeting. Basically, this evening, we're not waiting on any more explanations, any more dollar figures. So pretty much the warrant you have in front of you right now is it pretty much is it. This is your warrant.
Okay, so what I would like to do is, since we don't have the full contingency, I don't want to vote on recommending or not, one way or the other, except for ones that are like, have got no, but whatever, but I think our primary focus tonight should be on placing and just voting on what we're going to place. So let's just slog through it, shall we? Article 1, to see if the town will transfer from free cash a sum of money to pay the following unpaid bills. So this is like, the normal kind of gatekeeping, housekeeping type of thing that we have every year. I will entertain a motion to place and recommend that.
So moved.
Second.
I mean, we're gonna have to place and recommend. There's gonna be 5 of us. I don't wanna give.
Oh, yeah, all right, good
Yeah.
point. Let's just do place.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Article 2, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from free cash a sum of money to supplement appropriations previously voted in Article 5, sorry. And this is some syncing up, I would say, of things having to do with union contracts and cleaning up operating budgets. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. See if the town will vote to transfer following sums of money from the sources as more specifically identified below to be expended for the following capital equipment and capital projects for various town departments, or take any other action relative thereto. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And Ms. Green, and another bonus point is I would really like to hear from FinCom before we make our recommendations
Yes,
too, which we don't even
definitely.
have that, so.
Yeah.
The full contingency, but I like your idea, like how are we gonna remember who was here and who wasn't, and then 3 of us, and then,
I mean,
yeah.
you're
it's-
always wondering
yeah.
if someone's gonna have a valid point to
Yeah.
not recommend.
Yes, exactly. It would benefit from the full discussion. Article 4, which is wage and personnel, I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
And we're leaving it like this with the highlighted and crossed out.
No, this is the draft, oh, yes, with the highlighted and crossed out, yeah, but
Exactly,
not
yes. So this will
draft
show-
version. Oh,
Yeah.
This will show what we're, removing
Yeah.
and adding.
Then that brings us to Article 5, see if the town will vote to accept the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44. This was the one treasurer collector talked to us about. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Article 6, to see if the town will vote to transfer from overlay surplus the amount of $76,000 to pay for the fiscal years 2026 through 2028 interim and certification year adjustments in commercial, industrial, personal property, cyclical revaluation of the town's real estate and personal property values as required by MGL 40, Section 56, Chapter 218 of the Acts of 2016, or take any actions in relation thereto. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. See if the town will, Article 7, see if the town will transfer from 20,
Oh.
something's.
Okay, yeah. That, take out that from. transfer
From free cash, 12,000, just take out the from.
Yes.
Transfer 12,900 from free cash to make repairs to the town hall. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? See if the town, Article 8, see if the town will transfer 91,000 from free cash to purchase and install a generator for the library and the council on aging. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 9, see if the town will vote to transfer $26,750 from free cash to replace the station, battery, backup UPS, or take any other action relative thereto. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Clipping along here. Article 10, see if the town will vote to transfer $9,360 from free cash to replace HVAC units at Hanson Fire or take any other action relative thereto. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 11, see if the town will vote to transfer $40,000 from the open space reserve for the purposes of updating the open space and recreation plan or take any other action relative thereto. I think it should say from the community preservation open space reserve.
We can add that.
Yeah. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Article 12, see if the town will vote to amend the town of Hanson zoning bylaws, and this is regarding battery energy storage systems and things that are way beyond my pay grade. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
And Tony has gone through it.
Yeah, my understanding is the planning board had a hearing on it already, as they're required to do. So,
Right.
yeah.
No, I just, like,
Yeah.
I look through and try to
Yeah.
look for typos and stuff, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, yeah.
Yes.
My brain would.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, I believe Tony's been all over it. So that's actually quite a little chunk of change here. So that brings us to Article 13. See if the town will vote to appropriate $955 from I think it should be Community Preservation
Yes.
Housing Reserve to the Hanson Housing Authority. Are they actually giving it to the Hanson Housing Authority?
No, I mean, we have a grant from Mass Housing. So it's not actually going to
I think
the
it needs
Housing
to say, to see
Authority.
if the town will vote to appropriate $950 from the Community Preservation Housing Reserve.
For a 10%
Just,
grant match.
yeah, just
Yeah, once
for
you
a 10% grant match being provided by Mass Housing, because it's not gonna get sent to Hanson Housing Authority, it's gonna be held by the town and then coordinated and da-da-da-da.
And then we pay
Yeah.
the invoice.
And it's just
Yeah.
for them to review the property?
It's for a technical assistance grant,
Yeah.
yes, to review.
And is the dollar amount
Sorry.
9,550?
Yes.
Okay, because
So
we have
we
950.
have to match 10%, which is.
No,
the
well, we have,
950.
I see, okay. All right, so Mass Housing is providing a technical assistance grant in the amount of $9,550, so the 10 is $955.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor? Fantastic. Article 14, to see if the town will place the parcels listed, I'm sorry, I just want to circle back because now I'm wondering whether we did the last one that was community preservation, whether that was worded the right way too. Let's see, I don't remember which article, okay.
Is that the 40,000?
That's the 40, it's, see if the town will
Vote to transfer 40,000 from the community
will
preservation
vote
space.
to fund the, will vote to, something's up with that wording for the no, that's fine, from the open space for the purpose, I mean, we're not transferring 40,000, who are we transferring it to?
I guess we would be transferring it to the budget, and a line item in the budget that we're allowed to
Okay,
pay for.
all right, then we'll leave it, that's fine. Noodle it though, if you think it needs to be changed, and just bring it up. All right, so we voted on Article 13, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
believe we did.
Yes, I think we did too. Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
I turned the-
All right, great, thanks. Well, if you turn the page, then we
It's
must
done.
be, yeah, that's
It's official,
official. Yep. Article 14, to see if the town will vote to place the parcels listed below in the care and custody of the Conservation Commission for conservation and open space purposes protected under Article 97. This is what we discussed with Dave Mansfield and TJ Rolfe when they came. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Article 15, see if the town will vote to transfer $23,000 from free cash to replenish the conservation fund. Again, if you recall, it was originally a larger dollar amount. They've whittled it down. So kudos and thank you for that partnership. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Were you voting? Oh,
I am.
okay,
I'm
all right, okay. I
I'm
didn't know
sorry,
if you were
I didn't vote.
abstaining for some reason or what was happening. All right, because if you don't vote.
We're good at
we have-
whittling in the conservation.
Yes, well, we've heard that. Article 16, to see if the town will vote to authorize the select board to accept an easement from Danica Development LLC. This is the issue on 1139 Main Street that Ms. Green spoke to us about last week. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. See if the town will vote to transfer 135,000, something's funky here.
I think there should be a period after the 135,000. Or a comma or something. and then
Okay,
it's-
no, I see what's
Oh,
happening.
actually, so,
Yeah.
So, it's, okay, no, I know what it is, okay.
I know what you're saying.
To see if the town will vote to transfer, it should be $72,800 from the Community Preservation Open Space Reserve and $62,200 from the Undesignated Preservation Fund, and then maybe insert there for a total
So move the
of
135 down.
135,000. Yeah, they had to split it because there wasn't enough in the open space bucket to fund the whole thing. To purchase an approximately 45-acre parcel from Hubble. So I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Article 18, see if the town will vote to transfer the following sums of money from the source as more specifically identified below to fund and/or reimburse for the following items. And it's the ARPA stuff that we've discussed, so I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Cooking with gas, Article 19, see if the town will vote to approve changes for how we assess town debt shares related to South Shore Technical High School Regional Agreement Amendment. I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And Ms. Green, are we having a ballot on that, or no? Huh?
yes, there will be a ballot in January. We're still waiting, I'm still waiting on a little bit more information from Tom, but this is the first step, to approve. So basically in their agreement, they noted here, they are looking to change how the towns are assessed related to debt, since they are looking to do the new school. So, the ballot question will be coming
But
shortly.
the ballot question is about the funding of the.
About the funding, yes.
Okay, so this is allocation of the region.
Right, how they're gonna
Okay.
assess the debt to each of the
Okay.
member towns.
All right, cool.
You voted on that?
Did we vote on that? Keep us honest,
on
Ms.
18.
McDowell. Okay, yes,
We're on
I thought we
19
did.
now.
I didn't turn the page.
Yeah, we're on Article 19.
I think we've proven that that is not a fail-safe method, Mr. Hill. Okay. Article 20, to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash or any other available source a sum of money to restore conservation agent to full-time status of 35 hours per week. And this was in response to the impassioned plea of the Conservation Commission that they are down to extremely talented individuals and they really need the conservation agent to be back, his hours restored. So I will entertain a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I don't think we voted on 19.
You don't, okay,
Don't think we voted on 19?
okay.
Did we vote on 19? She says we
I
did.
don't remember.
Well, let's do it out of an abundance of caution. It's not gonna harm anything. I will entertain a motion to place Article 19.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We'll all sleep better tonight. All right, Article 21, see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash or any other available source a sum of money to restore, were we able to say, or any other available source? A sum of money?
Well, some folks were looking at our stabilization fund, as possibly using it as a
Well,
source.
Kate hasn't opined on this yet, right?
We're still waiting on her.
Okay,
full-
all right.
Yeah, her full.
It's worded really funky, so, and it's not giving a dollar amount either.
This was the placeholder that we talked about last week, right?
And actually, now that I'm saying it, neither did the conservation agent position.
Recommended I take out the dollar amount because it's a tentative amount. I do have the dollar amount for the finance committee and Eric to review.
Well, how would I know as a voter at town meeting what I am voting on?
Because she said we can't lock into a specific number if we don't have a specific number.
Okay,
So this will show up on the informational warrant.
we'll have to take
Be on the
that,
informational warrant.
okay, you'll have a handout, okay. All right, so on to 21, I will entertain a motion to place Article 21.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And Article 22, is
Citizens petition.
citizens petition, and Article 23 is the citizens petition, which we typically refer to town meeting, but if you guys feel differently, okay, so we're not really gonna, we don't have a say in whether it's placed anyway, but,
No, you can't place
yeah.
it. You'll have to-
So, all right, so we made short work of that, and then that brings us on to discuss proposals for override. Ms. Green?
Okay, so, we have received one additional proposal, for override outreach, and education. And actually, I did have a meeting today with the Collins Center, so I am waiting on their proposal as well. So, hopefully I will have actual dollar proposals, at our next meeting.
Okay, and can you tell us if it's more reasonable than perhaps other quotes that we have received?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
You know, the Collins Center, is very impressive. They have a team put together. One of their team members actually is certified in school finance.
Oh, boy, okay.
So her expertise in municipal finance, in school finance, could very well be helpful. And I also have another meeting set up, with Bridgewater State as well, with Dr. Melinda Tarsi-Feingold.
Yeah.
And to talk with them about if this is something that the students, would be interested in helping us out with. So
Okay, well, I'm
that
glad,
meeting
yeah.
is planned, so.
Thank you for plumbing the depths and, you know, searching high and low for the right and more cost-effective solution. That's great. Did anybody have any questions for Ms. Green?
Just a request, if you don't mind, and I'm sure you're already gonna do this, but when you get the proposal with the cost, can we just get like a full scope of work?
Yes.
Like soup to nuts, what they plan on doing in the timeline? It'll just save us from having conversations on the floor, if you don't mind.
I agree, Mr. Weeks, because if you recall, that was our real, sticking point with Capital Strategic Solutions. They definitely had no problem articulating the dollar amount, but the specificity around how many meetings, when they were gonna have, was extremely lacking. And so, we don't wanna have to circle the drain and ask the same questions. You know, that's what we need to know, so if we could just get that, that would be great.
We'll make sure of it.
Okay, cool. All right, that brings us to, because we already did some things while you were out of the room, that brings us to the town administrator report.
Okay, all right, so, as we know, we conducted interviews for the highway director position, and we brought forward the, basically the most qualified candidate before the board. And we are very fortunate to have a conditional, offer of employment. We continue to work on preparation for the October special town meeting, so that is something that we're also continuing to work on. Lynn and Emily are doing a great job with ordering the signage and getting that together for us. We're going to be getting that in the Express, on our website, so just to let as many people possible know, to come to the town meeting. The senior center, they received a grant from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs for their supportive day program that included an expansion of the part of the senior center. So we have been working with a company called Box Modular, looking at a modular building. We do have plans for that. We're looking to do a turnkey type of a building that has plumbing, has restroom facilities, everything that we need so that we don't have to procure and do everything piecemeal. So that process is moving forward as quickly as we can. We've had our building inspector, our town planner, the representative from the company that have looked at the space where this will be located. Mary Collins is picking out color schemes for the actual building color and things like that. So it's moving forward rather quickly.
Is it still on schedule, I guess?
Still on schedule, and, yep, still on schedule, and actually, I was just talking with the town accountant today about the funding of it, because it looks like it is, most likely is gonna be, a reimbursable type of grant, so we're making sure that we're following all of the procedures that they require. I've been working on a lot of personnel and union matters, where we have ratified the contract, so there's a lot of, scheduling that has to take place, for the reduction in hours, so I've been spending time on that. I've also been working on, the ARPA applications. They are reviewing the applications that I'm putting forth for the Class 5 ambulance, for the catch basins, for the food pantry, so they are reviewing that and have requested additional information, so I've been working on getting them that information. Also been working on, it's time again for the workers' comp audit, so working with the treasurer collector's office to start gathering the information that they've requested from us. Town hall will be closed on Monday, September 2nd, in recognition of Labor Day. Just want to remind everyone about that. And you already talked about the transfer station, so I don't need to follow up. I don't need to repeat it again, but starting Sunday, September 8th, the transfer station will be closed going forward on Sundays only. If they do require information, they can certainly contact the Board of Health. And that completes my town administrator report for today.
Well, we did get, a letter dated today, from, our town planner, regarding the zoning board of appeals membership. He says, "Dear Madam Chair and members of the Select Board, as the board is aware, the Hanson Zoning Board of Appeals is currently comprised of 2 members. I wish to bring to the board's attention the following," and he cites the Mass General Law, 40A, which says that the Board of Appeals shall consist of 3 or 5 members. For certain, I'll bottom line this here. For certain hearings, we need to have 3 members, and we don't. It may impede, and disadvantage the town, in rendering an opinion, about somebody who may be, applying to the Board of Appeals.
You have
So,
somebody?
we do not have anybody. So we really need a 3rd member, or we're going to have a problem.
And it was mentioned the third member could be a select.
The this is, just to be clear, it's not gonna be a full member that they're looking for. What they really need is,
Alternate member.
yeah, we could do well, Tony's saying associate, I don't know what the
Yeah, it's an
right
associate,
terminology.
associate member is
Yeah.
the right terminology.
voting?
But I think,
Yes, that's the whole idea, you need to
Yeah,
have
it's
3 people to
associate.
vote, yes.
so we're supposed to have, 3 members, and how many associate members? 3, or is it 2?
I think there's 2.
2, that's what I
2
thought.
associate
So we
members.
only have 2 in total.
Correct,
Okay, so we don't even have any associate members.
no.
Okay. So, aside from the idea of, because I don't,
And I do just want to mention, this wasn't on the agenda because I could not have reasonably anticipated it.
yeah, no, that's fine. And I just for the sake of clarity around this too, I don't think, I would be curious if even if we appointed somebody on this board to keep operations moving, I would advise against it. I think if anybody here wanted to be a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals as either a full member or an alternate member, that you go through the process and actually apply and get appointed, because that's how we do it with all of these things. Other than that, you would be a liaison that would also be a voting.
That is true. This is an extraordinarily different situation. And we serendipitously have our attorney here, Matt Provencher. Yes, Matt, what is?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
members of the board. So just to review, because I've been in communications with the town administrator about the issue. So what Chapter 48 requires for certain appeals that go to the Zoning Board of Appeals is that a 3-member board has to make certain decisions unanimously. Those are typically the granting of special permits, the issuance of a variance, or overturning a decision of the building inspector or commissioner. So for those 3 things, a board of 3 members needs to have a unanimous vote. There are different vote quantums. If you have a 5-member board, it requires 4 out of the 5, and if you, for some reason, have a board with more than 5 members, it's a 2/3 vote. But in any event, you need a supermajority vote, or if it's only 3, a unanimous vote. So the upshot would be that even if you have a board that has a quorum, which is 2 out of the 3, a majority, and thus capable of acting on some business before it, it cannot provide the relief that people are seeking because they're seeking a special permit or a variance or to overturn a decision of the building inspector or commissioner. The difficulty for the town is that that then puts these people in a position where they would need to then take an appeal, which will incur costs in determining whether and how to defend any appeal, because even if the board votes unanimously of the members present and available to vote, it will still be effectively a denial because they can't meet the legal criteria set under Chapter 40A. With the distinction between full members and associate or alternate members. Full members are those who sit on the board and are part of its regular quorum. Under your bylaws, there is a provision for associate or alternate members, but those members sit only when a full member is not available. So just to be clear, they can vote, but they are not considered a full voting member. They don't count towards ordinary business. If one of them's not present, it doesn't affect whether there's a quorum of the board.
But does it help if, with the 3, needing 3 people?
Because they'd be able to step in and
Yes.
vote in the event of an absence of one of the full members, that would be of assistance. I think obviously, as you've identified, though, the principal issue is that you need a full-time third, which is really, I assume, the priority because you would like to get back to regular business as soon as possible.
What does it do if somebody has to recuse themselves? Say one of us did step up and they had a project that they were working on that may go in front of the ZBA and needs.
You wouldn't meet the criteria.
Is this hypothetical, or?
No.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
You wouldn't meet the criteria, you wouldn't have 2,
So-
Then you would have to recuse yourself from
And then
that.
would it be
particular-
okay? Would
that
it,
you couldn't vote. So
No, you'd still be right back where,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can't, given that I can't.
Wouldn't meet the necessary quantum.
well, but, okay, but the rest of the projects would benefit from you being there, not something you individually had some kind of a personal interest
They
in.
couldn't move forward on.
Right.
On the project that
Yeah.
they're not going to be able
This
to
is just for a
anyway.
period of time.
Yeah,
This
they're
is-
not going to be, well, hopefully, yeah.
The other thing I'd say is that my office is ready to coordinate with the zoning board and the zoning administrator and the building inspector. And should you have one, I have one piece of active litigation in which people have been trying to resolve an enforcement issue, but they need to apply for a special permit. And I've, communicated with them on behalf of the ZBA. You're free to apply, and if you get a denial, take an appeal, and then I will consult with the board about whether it's looking to defend that, given that you, as far as the building inspector has determined, otherwise brought the property into compliance, and it's just the final step in eliminating any non-compliance. And if the board was inclined to grant the permit, there being no reason, and the building inspector would, in his view, say, this appears to meet the criteria for a special permit, it would be a different scenario. But that's a pretty narrow kind of issue. For most people, I think, saying, you're free to take an appeal leaves the town with, it's kind of putting a lot of work onto the back end. We would be happy to do it, but I can tell you that it would be relatively expensive to try to dig into all of these and then
Right.
make a decision up front about whether there's a need to defend.
Yeah, very expensive vacancy.
Yes. Have we gone back to applications that we've received in the past for this position to see if anybody is still interested? There were a rash of,
Well, most of the people that applied were people that were already on the board once before.
no, there were some people during the investigation who, probably out of outrage more than anything, really had applied. But I just wonder, maybe they would have come forward already and said that they were still interested.
No one has come forward. to say-
Can we pump up the volume? Can we put something out? I mean, I was in contact with Virginia Costley, who's the administrative assistant. I mean, she's really so much more, really. She is ZBA basically, but, no disrespect to anybody else on ZBA, but she's been the steady oar there. And she's extremely concerned about this. And she asked that we do whatever we could to get somebody on there. But I mean, short of holding somebody hostage and making them sign an application to be a volunteer, I don't know what else we can do.
The only thing I'm thinking is maybe offer a stipend, a small stipend.
I don't think we can
I
do
don't-
that
I
if we
don't
don't,
know.
We can-
no.
I think, so, I mean, we ran into this problem when we were doing the capital improvement stuff, and we just made it a point to try to solicit people, and it worked. It was great. We should probably do the same thing. But I think at the end of the day, what stopped people 2 years ago was all of the attention it was getting. I don't think it had any level of attention
it hasn't.
in a long time.
It
So
hasn't.
I just think the lack of attention and we've been quiet about it. I mean, do people even know? Aside from, like, you do a great job.
We have
don't get me
mentioned
wrong.
it.
But I know we've mentioned it, but
Yeah.
to the level that we need to really kind of put it up.
We've had past members say that they would step up. We've had 3 past members say that they would step up.
I just as recently as a month ago, I think we were going to appoint somebody. I was the only person that actually made a motion to appoint the person. So, I mean, I don't know. Aside from that, I have no idea. All I'm saying is that when we ask for people pointedly to join the committee and say, like, again, I go back to the capital improvement, which again, we need to do another revitalization on that because we are losing people there too. But talking about the importance of the committee, what the devastating consequences, because we did talk about this all over again. This is like deja vu.
Yes.
Because we talked about the dangerousness of not having people on conservation.
when you
It
make-
can be
yes,
very
yes.
expensive, it's automatic
Yep.
no's, and it's a whole dam of just stuff that could go wrong.
Yes.
So we're opening ourselves up to a whole bunch of stuff. And I think the
Correct.
more we talk about the importance of that and try to elicit people, I think it's the way to go. Short of that, for me, it's a little bit different between having a conversation around like appointing a select person to the board to fill a seat versus just asking that person to go through the motions and just get appointed as a member.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any takers either way, so.
Did you talk to Ann? Did you talk to Dave?
I did talk to Ann. Ann thought she might have some people that maybe would apply. I've tried everybody I know, and everybody acts like it's the plague,
But even
and they
if, like-
just don't want anything to do with it.
Even the committee updates, is there anybody on here that could, in lieu of some of these other ones being smaller, take that on?
I haven't, I've tried everybody I know. I mean, for a couple years now, like it's, I don't know what else we can do. If you guys can think of people, maybe bring it up at the Republican Town Committee.
Yeah.
See what we've got.
Is it something that I could join while we
Yes.
Yes.
did like for
Yes.
a week or 2
Yeah.
weeks?
Correct.
whatever?
That's what I'm trying to.
Virginia really is most concerned, like I asked her if she could postpone, because I think they were supposed to have some hearings tonight, and she was gonna work on postponing, and she thought she could postpone them until like towards the end of September, I wanna say, or I don't know, I don't wanna misstate, but at least for a couple weeks, she thought she could buy some time. We'll find out later if you hear, primal screaming, it didn't go well up there, but, she was gonna try, and her big ask of me is, can we just get somebody for those hearings? Like, and yes, we have to press for a long-term solution, but we need something just to help them get through this.
I will volunteer as long as we press for long-term solution. I don't want to be necessarily, I mean, as of now, I don't want to, I'm not saying in the future I might find the most amazing committee I've ever been on. But right now, I just would do it until we find a replacement. And I would ask that they could somehow schedule meetings.
That is the big thing, is we will need to make sure that we are coordinating, and I will do my utmost to try to, be flexible around when we're meeting to help when they're meeting,
They
and,
meet Tuesdays and we meet
yes,
Tuesdays.
yes,
Can you vote
so.
to appoint himself as a member of the zoning board?
I would advise against it.
Yeah, so we'd have to wait until the 2 weeks anyways, but
I would also recommend that if you're considering making a cross appointment, you also solicit an opinion from the Ethics Commission.
yeah.
Because as an individual municipal employee, even though you're generally special municipal employees, you can get a binding ethics opinion from the lawyer of the Ethics Commission. My firm can't request one on your behalf, you have to request it yourself. So we
Did you
can
ever
point in the right
request one
direction.
on being
So
conservation?
he's on every committee under the sun.
He's on conservation,
So
he's
he
on capital
basically-
improvement.
Capital improvement,
So
energy.
committees are generally different than separate boards and commissions. It's more
Okay.
like a belt and suspenders approach, so that you have something that, should there be any question, whether it is both individual or to the board more generally, you can say that you've checked with the Ethics Commission, that you've received an opinion that you can rely on in terms of whether this poses any issue under the conflicts of interest law. We just routinely recommend that as a prophylactic device, even when we're
Makes
very
sense.
confident that it's not going to pose an issue.
That makes
It's a
sense.
better course of action.
So it would make sense to also, probably for the sake of it, just have you fill out an application.
Just fill out an
Oh, yeah.
application.
Oh,
so that
Talk to ethics. They are really quick, like,
Yeah.
right on the spot, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then fill out the application, and then, because we don't want you and your zeal to be helpful to somehow unwittingly get nailed.
Yeah.
So that would not be the right end result, so,
What I
Thank
can
you.
tell you is
Yeah.
that my office will separately do it.
And I'll postpone my
Okay,
request for the ZBA while I'm,
yeah, that sounds good. And if we have to pull a meeting together to get a 3-person vote that doesn't include you,
Yeah.
then we just do that and that solves the problem.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if for some reason Virginia needs it earlier, then you could just get a one-off meeting to do that.
Yeah.
Once Ed's done his little stuff.
Just in
Okay.
case.
All right, thank you. That was
Thank you.
extremely helpful.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for stepping up, as usual, Mr. Heel. You're a peach. We appreciate it. Okay, so, all right, then that brings us to executive session. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We're going into executive session. We will not be returning to open session. Executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 38, section 21A1, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints or charges against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. Executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 38, section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, litigation discussions, and executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 38, section 21A7, to review and approve executive session minutes not to be released August 20th, 2024. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, and we will not be returning to open session.